This is an introduction to the color wheel that I designed, which you'll notice is in the shape of a triangle. The triangle is because there are 3 colors that are biologically special. They're the colors our eyes see best and thus are the brightest. The 3 primary colors, the biological primaries, or what I call true primaries, are yellow. I use PY3, which is a lemon yellow. It's called Hansa Yellow Light. Magenta, I use Opera Pink. And cyan, I use a split primary for cyan, which is helio turquoise, also known as phthalo turquoise, and cobalt teal blue, PG50. These 3 colors are the brightest colors possible, except that paint can't quite get as the same exact colors that your eyes see best. So this magenta, while bright, is a little bit too red. Both of these cyans are a little bit too dull. This one is a little too blue. Cobalt teal blue is a little bit too green. The lemon yellow that I use, PY3 or Hansa Yellow Light, is pretty darn good. It's very close to the true primary. In addition to the biological or true primaries, I also use artists' primaries, or what I call artists or mixing primaries, and these are colors that are brighter than the mixes that you can get from the 2 primaries. Because magenta is not the actual true primary, it doesn't give as bright of an orange as you could get from cadmium orange. So I also use cadmium orange as a mixing primary. Both cyan and magenta paints are not the actual true biological primary, so the blue that they mix to create, while a true blue, is not as bright as the ultramarine blue. Notice that the colors on the inner triangle are slightly different than the ones on the outside. That's because these colors are fresh out of the tube, where these has been adjusted a little bit with black or white to make the value of any one triangle pretty similar. Another thing that this triangle tells you, besides which colors are primary, and I've labeled them by putting them in large circles, is how to mix bright colors. If you want to mix a bright color, use the 2 primaries on either end of it. For example, if I want to mix any kind of red, I can get a very bright red by mixing cadmium orange and opera pink. If I want to mix a very bright violet or purple, I can get a very bright violet or purple by mixing ultramarine blue and opera pink. If I want a nice bright green, I can mix several kinds of bright greens by mixing cobalt teal blue and yellow. Notice when you have a split primary, you use the side that is closest to the color that you are mixing. The third thing this color triangle tells us is what colors are complementary. The definition of complementary colors are colors that mix to make a neutral gray. So you can see that when I've mixed these colors, I get a color that is pretty close to neutral gray. It's not exactly the same because these colors are not exactly complementary. But that's okay. You have to get close enough. It's pretty difficult to get the actual proper exact complementary colors. So anything that is grayish is going to be close enough. So each of these strips connects the neutral gray. Notice that the strips cross in a center that is not in the actual triangle center. That's one of the features of this triangle that I think makes it way better than most triangles that are out there. Most triangles that are out there incorrectly predict which colors will be complementary. For example, while yellow is exactly opposite blue on the color triangle, yellow is actually complementary to violet. And blue is complementary to orange. It's this yellow-violet, blue-orange complementary relationship that pushes the center of the triangle off to one side. So that is my color triangle. I'm Ginger Markley. I hope that was informative. Bye-bye.